what really kind of helped spur me along of like, you know what, like I want to do this. This is a lot of fun. Was being on your game show.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, like this is something I could do. Like, I'm not saying like I'm good at it or I'm bad at it or whatever else, but it's something I can do and have a lot of fun while doing it. And so that really kind of helped. Like, I was already toying with the idea of starting up some kind of podcast anyways, or vlog or whatever. But then I went on the show and it's like, all right, this isn't nearly as difficult as what I thought.
The technology has made it so nice.
Well, it's the technology, but it's the nerves, right? So many people, like we've had people on the show and, they get nervous.
Yeah.
And like being in front of the camera and everything else.
They should not play on any A-tier event.
Well, the thing that...
those get you nervous.
Well, tournaments in general get people... I get nervous at tournaments. That's what's funny. I don't get nervous in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I get nervous at tournaments, though, for sure. It's still you. But, yeah, like I said, you were kind of the launching point for me.
That's kind of cool to hear. But after like a year doing that, I said, you could just make your own TV show? This is crazy. You can just make your own TV show. So
they're just letting people make TV shows
so
out here?
I'm starting Chain Violence, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And like, it's legitimately fun. And if nobody watched, I'd still enjoy doing it. So I'm going to keep doing it.
Exactly. Well, and that's kind of, I guess, my point is like, we're going to keep doing it just because we're having a blast. Like, I'm doing, with chatting with Chain Monster as a new startup thing, but even with Disc Bike Life, and just the Chain Monster podcast umbrella, we're gonna have quite a few channels going just because, even if we only have the same 30 people.
Oh, that's so smooth.
Well, if it gets in the air, I think that'll work. Even if we only have like the same 30 people watching and stuff, as long as they're willing to watch, like I'm willing to keep doing this. And I think you're kind of in the same boat, right? Like, but you're getting a pretty good following at this point in time.
You know what helps is I give away a lot of discs.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real flippy. I might not even get that back.
Yeah, you'll get it back. So, well, that's kind of where we're at is we want to start getting to a point where, with monetizing and everything else, that it's not so much about trying to make money. It's about trying to get sponsorships from businesses that say, hey, you know what? Like, we're going to throw like new companies coming up, like Upper Park Disc Golf as a good example. They're making bags and stuff like that. And they're wanting people to test them. I think you do stuff for them, right? Yeah, you got it right there. So that's kind of like, we want to start pick up stuff like that, right? Where they're like, hey, give one of our bags away. Yeah. Like, we want to kind of start getting to that point. Obviously, we would like to make money at some point in time. Like, it would be ideal. But if we can start out with just not spending our own stuff and getting somebody else to help us out would be top shelf.
So my inspiration for it has a lot to do with a bunch of different people, but main thing was Barstool Sports.
Okay.
So my main goal is make a bunch of content, create a website, put articles and content on the website,
right?
Have advertisers on the side. You could go buy a bag just because you're looking at our content on our site.
Right.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's really the angle I'm going for. And I think it's going pretty good so far.
So, I mean, your main socials for everything you do is Underground Sports, right? Like,
yes.
If you Google Underground Sports,
you're going to find our Facebook page first.
Okay. But they can find everything they need to find from there.
Yeah. Yep. All my links are on there. Also, it's not up and running yet, but our website is going. It's Underground Sports Plus, and you can get everything on there as well.
Wow, he looks for his disc. I don't think you went in. Never mind, you're right there. Hey, while you're in there, see if that big old gator's hanging out. Can't tell.
I'm friends with
pond
gators.
Right
are friends.
And we live in Florida, and there's water. There's probably gators.
Fumble.
Bach, runners advance. Whee!
Oh, I've seen it pop up a little bit. I think I'm by the basket.
By the basket would be ideal.
Think I can get a par out of this bad drive.
I mean,
I don't shoot as good here as I should. I feel like I average like +3 here.
So this course is like, it's a game of feet, not inches. I know that sounds weird, but if you're 6 inches off on this course, you're going to smash so many trees.
Yep.
If you're 3 feet off, you're going to end up getting so many lucky routes and stuff like that. Like, you either have to be on it or just terrible. Yeah, you
need to be a scrambling king here.
Right.
I got you.
Whee! Yep, pass it off.
So what's your favorite hole on this course?
Oh, probably 5B, the downhill shot.
Way
like
down there?
it's yeah. It's just such a picturesque hole, honestly. Sit. Oh,
That's what made
Too
me
much
like
sit.
this course is any of the downhill shots where you could throw like an awesome skip.
yeah. You don't get a lot
My
of that
favorite
around
thing
here,
is
other
just
than
skip
Mount
aces
Olympus.
anyway. Like if you
Yeah.
I almost got one today.
So this hole I've actually aced before.
This one?
Yep.
That's crazy.
I came in on a big hyzer, and the branch that's like that branch that's right above you used to come out. You can kind of see where it's cut. Used to come out over this basket, and I smashed into it and plinkoed down into the basket. There was a group on 11 that saw it. They start coming out, you know, they start walking out, and they're like yelling at me, like, ah. And I'm like, I thought maybe I hit them.
Yeah.
Or got close to hitting them or something. I'm like, yeah, my bad. And they're like, no, you went in. I'm like, get out of here.
Yeah, you're Josh.
Yeah. And then, sure enough, I was sitting in the basket. I
This
did it
hole's
with
pretty
a,
cool too.
Did it with a Big Z crank.
Yeah. Yeah, this hole's fun.
This is a great hole. I know it's pretty signature for a lot of people.
Last time I did forehand, but I didn't have the power to get it there.
Honestly, forehand's kind of the go-to play
I did forehand
in normal
mid, but-
conditions because of wind.
I'm gonna try it again. I just gotta give it a little more mustard.
Yeah.
Going for par. We're going for par.
Going for par.
And for anybody who says, why'd you stand still? Because if I do any 2-3 step walk up with a forehand, it's going somewhere. I don't know where it's gonna go. I'd rather it be controlled.
I like the backhand and just kind of straight at it. Old Tiger Dan Weibel is the one that talked me into doing it. Just putter straight down at it. Don't try anything fancy. And then you end up parking it.
There you go. I think I seen somebody throw. I seen somebody post something like that on Disc Golf Discussion. A lot of people were very mad about it.
Yeah, don't be this person.
Yeah.
Don't vandalize the property. Come on, be better. Well, maybe your scorecard's going to look better than what you did then, I guess, really, because I guess I already forgot the hole we just played.
I think I'm 1 over right now.
That sounds right. Ooh,
Is it gonna
stay off
finish?
that tree, and that's butter. It did not. I fought through, though. Yeah, because you went par,
I had that.
birdie,
What was that? A
triple,
bogey. and
birdie.
I think I had a triple and that one that's 4. It's just I think I've only had 3 or 4.
Yeah,
I
so
think
you
I
had
3
4
birdies.
strokes, and you've had 3 birdies.
Okay.
Because you hit hole 5 and then 7, your chain out, and 8. So hard to talk yourself into throwing up on this hole.
Yeah, and last time I threw him, I DD, and it was kind of perfect. But I've been throwing a little harder, and I just didn't want it to take off on me.
Yeah, on this one, so this is a good kind of learning curve, boys and girls, is when you're going uphill, a lot of times you really want to throw more understable.
That's what the DD is.
Okay.
It's a -3 too.
Okay, cool. So I don't know Discmania all that well. I guess I should have figured that out with the DD. But anyways, it's you understable, like the G1 I just threw is on flat ground, almost more of a backhand hyzer roller disc.
Okay.
But throwing up this hill, it stood up and asked a hair more than I wanted, but I mean, that was just the difference between a
And
touch
this-
more hyzer.
This is a Daredevil Timberwolf 9.6 -10. So it's like a driver of a fuse.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I love it. It's
Yeah.
so good. So
And
good.
for shot like, so Mount Olympus, as it's called now, Throwdown the Mountain,
Yeah.
the mountain, the canyon, everything. It's got a lot of uphill shots, so discs like that really come
Would
into
be
play.
perfect, yeah.
Ooh.
Woo! That would have been sick. Yeah, that disc, I bought it just because it was like I like doing disc reviews on things people never heard of, like Daredevil disc.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna find that everywhere.
Never heard of them.
And then it was the flight numbers that were interesting. I've never heard of a driver that was a -10.
Right.
And I threw it, and it's like perfect. It's insane.
So I kind of had the same.
Good shot.
I wasn't
Get way up here.
I wasn't doing a review, but my buddy Tim Perkins with Synergy Disc Dies was like, "Hey man, are you sponsored by anybody right now?" I was like, "No, just kind of open bagging it, and and I'm not that great of a player to go like sign like big cash contract deals or anything. I'm not on tour." But he goes, "Hey, there's this company out of California. They're really awesome. Pushwind, oops, they're really awesome, and they're doing like great things, and they really take care of their players and blah blah blah." I said, "Okay, who's that? I'll take a look at just kind of like with a grain of salt." And it ended up being AGL Disc.
Is that where they're at, California?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that was the kind of the launching point. I started like looking at some of their discs. I'm like, yo, these numbers are great for me. They would say no pictures on scorecards, but we're rolling. But so that's what really launched it is kind of what you're saying. Like, they're starting to gain popularity. Scott Stokely helps with that. I did the same thing almost. Scott Stokely helps with that, and some of these other players. Scott Withers is now on the team, and he's like one of the highest rated players to come out of Oregon. But it was that small company, and they said, yeah, we'll give you a shot, and they've done like awesome stuff, like we were talking about before with the stamped discs and stuff. Like
they do a lot on Facebook. He does a lot of Facebook lives, and I chime in a lot because he'll just be doing like warehouse stuff. And,
and stamping discs.
There's
and all
a lot
that
of
kind
like
stuff.
AGL diehard guys who are in there almost every chat, and they just have a good time. And it's like you order your disc, you're watching the guy stamp it, and then he's like, "Oh, you want to buy this one?" Like, bam, it's sold. It's like, oh, that's a cool concept.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, Josh is like the king of like dying disc. Oh, why are you not more stable than that? It's a warrior. Juiced it a little hard, I guess. Well, and who's you know the dude's name. You sent him the guy that
KK Music?
Is that
the one where I sent the saw blades?
Yeah, the guy that's like, we're gonna
KK
play
Music,
this hole and loser gets slapped.
That guy's awesome, and I like the way he does his content. It's just not something I can do because he does such a good job at it. I'd rather give him the idea.
His editing and everything else is like phenomenal.
Yeah, so
but he's been giving AGL shout outs. Like he throws
good.
the Redwood from AGL, which is, he phrased it probably the best I've heard it, which is it's almost kind of like a beat-in destroyer.
Oh, that's sick.
So, and like, he's 100% on the nose with it.
Out of the box like that.
Yeah. Like, they're stable, like a destroyer would be, but like a destroyer that you've had for, a
couple years.
Not even 6 months, and you've hit a few trees on the way.
I'm not far.
And, if you order one through me, I can hit some trees for you with it.
Break it in for you? Oh, no, it's just it. Oh.
Wee.
Took that one for a ride.
I tell you what, like, you don't live that far away, but, so with me living here, and I'm kind of have a heavy hand with this course because I didn't design the course, but I showed up to a lot of the work parties back in the day when we were building this place. And so we kind of take it for granted, but honestly, this course is so pretty.
It's very nice, and it's different than every course in the area. like you can obviously tell it's in Florida, but it's also so wooded. It don't feel like you're in Florida sometimes.
Right. Well, and that's kind of what I was going towards, walking up to this hole with this giant, I call it the octopus tree because I don't know what else to call it, but this giant oak bush tree conglomerative of a thing. And you're walking down, it's like, man, this is like, it's gorgeous. Oh, baby.
Nice. I couldn't even see it. I just listened.
It was the
now,
one
wasn't
window.
there a pin position back here at some point?
Yeah, there's a long placement down in that bowl.
I've never seen it there before, but
Really?
I know there's one there.
Yeah, so if you look just down in that bowl right there.
I would do so much better on this hole if it was there. That's almost a dead straight shot.
It is a dead straight shot.
That's like a little detour or just an MD shot down here.
Yeah.
And this, I got to rely on my forehand to